Greetings everyone, and Great here for another H-Pars 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom right side as the blue Malians, we have L Sensei. Spawn on the north side as the green Mongols, we have capital O underscore capital O. Either way, let's take a look at each player's economic benefits. The Malians do have access to the mining pit as well as the cattle ranch. Mining pit will allow them to get some free gold generation. There's a large number of mines over here on this map. So he should be okay as 4 mining pits, no problem, as soon as he gets up that age. But we do have, looks like an early gold, not early gold, early dock floor on the field, item for some fishing boats. Additionally, later on, they can get out some cattle ranches to get some free food. Maybe a good idea to go for fishing boats and cattle. Could be a good, decent combo. Mongols. They have a couple unique benefits. They don't require housing, and they have the OVO. The OVO, they're limited of one entire field. It is comparable to a single mining pit, but does not. You can only build one, which causes so it's a really minor benefit the longer the game goes on. But of course, can deploy out ×2 spearmen and other ×2 units by spending a double the amount in soul cost of stone in order for fast production. He is eyeing for a couple spearmen now, and the nice thing about Malians, there's a lot of potential raidable targets. We do now have the Spearman advanced forward. Donzos do have 1 melee armor versus the Spearman. They do both have the same health, but the Javelin Throw and the 1 extra melee armor will be very handy. Now the Donzos here in good numbers. Another pair of Spearmen now being employed on the field. He needs to fall back. He can't fight against 2 Donzo. If the columns in the region, he may want to use a speed arrow to help them escape. And now Green's eyeing for an outpost here. Villager does take a Javelin Throw. Regular Donzo's Javelin damage is 5, nothing too significant. It looks like Green is going backing on off, and now it's eyeing for his Doctor Zone. 5 is the minimum number of villagers you need to maintain fishing boat production. I would probably recommend on this map maybe go for 7 or 8 villagers on wood to collect enough stone for your boats, as well as be able to get some housing or other resources and structures as well. Oh, and it looks like some of these sheep got popped pretty far. That's been an oversight on blue. We don't have the mining pit going on up. Costs 150 wood like the OVO. You guys have been popped over there. Got some sheep will now delivered to the Mongol player. And if you look at this, there is actually the deer deposit here near Green. Nice safe location, and a sheeple to go along with him. But this deer deposit, it's pretty off to the side, so it's unlikely Green's going to click up that. We got 2 boar in the center there, so maybe pulling out town center a single gear to help him get them nice and close by and collected. You should be able to at least aggro one boar into the other to collect them both at a reasonable spot. Maybe at the same time as well, get 16 villagers, or maybe 15. Since both players don't have access to Wooden Fortress, but you can pull out 3 outposts and collect up the boar quite reasonably well. Either way, let's talk about what things they can employ out in Feudal Age. The Mongols have access to unique units. The Keshik, a decent, cheap, heavy cav, and the Magadai, a horse archer that has basically no use to the entire game. Do now the silver tree going to be pulling field. This map is great for the silver tree due to the fact there's a lot of water to restrict raids onto the trade. His opponent could go for the sand trade network as well and do something similar himself. He'll probably go with the Matsukori. Donzo advancing forward. He could use a speed arrow there to help him pursue these Donzo. There's enough Mongol spearmen to overrun. There's a speed arrow now. Gives him 5 seconds of faster sprint. Does take out one of the spearmen there. This Donzo should go down. And it's going to send this one spearman to finish off that one, and the other's going to pursue the other Donzo. Got this Donzo here. I would recommend for both sides deploy out a arrow ship in this channel. Arrow ships at this point in time are incredibly effective in providing shore bombardment. So a single arrow ship on both sides could be very handy. Blue is eyeing for a handful of palisade walls there. He's going to make sure his opponent does not deploy out a proxy dock and harass him. You now have the Hardened Spearman and likely the Hardened Donzo research afterwards. The Hardened Spearman will increase the health of the Spearman by N and give him +1 damage, which will counter out the +1 armor of the unupgraded Donzo. And also, overall, the Hardened Spearman will be slightly better with their increased health, but that javelin throw is still very useful nonetheless. Attack speed 1.88. Yep, same attack speed. I wonder, can you pull out a gate there and let your fishing boats travel through the gate? I always wonder that. The Malian player has now aged up. Local doggo being put down, and the silver tree is being redeployed. He did it a little bit off to the side. I disagree with that. He should have put in the corner. Why? There's some trees here. They would travel along this far side here to get to here. Now right here, they can travel in front of those trees. There's just a speed arrow there. Looks like there's an unsuccessful dock. Green does pick off that villager. And now you have an arrow ship here, which will provide excellent shore bombardment. Mass spearmen, mass archers will have significant trouble with archer ship, especially if they're next to a dock for health regen. Even then, it will take a massive number of archers. Looks like the traders are going this around, but it does mean increase their travel time. I would still say putting it right there is better. Malian village now push forward as well, trying to get another proxy docks, and this one will not be spotted. Then I noticed that he's been microing the fishing boat or the arrow ship around. It may be on a patrol move. Nope, it does not appear to be on a patrol move. First dock is being employed on out, or second dock, really. We do now have a stable now employed on field. He may be eyeing for some Keshiks. He does have 450 stone. That's enough for 2 pairs of Keshiks. But he only sees a bunch of Donzos. Probably, if he goes for Keshiks, he better send them around a long way and eye for some raiding. Oh, I think it's a bad idea for these Donzos to be pushing around over here. It may get his stock revealed. Ah, he's going for a transport ship. And we have to remember, Malian transport ships do have an auto attack. You can see here, no combat and all that sort. The Malian ship really needs a unique symbol right here, because the Malian transport ship, when loaded up, does have an attack. It has right now 7 javelin damage of... Oh, got fire ship advancing on forward. Connects. It doesn't do bonus damage. Fire ships do bonus damage to spring gold ships. And does go ahead and dismount there. So it does do 7 damage per javelin. I didn't take a look at the attack speed, but let's just say it appeared to be more than enough damage to take on the archer ship. And we got another spring gold ship here. The arrow ship took a bit of a beating there. Fire ship now advancing forward. That should be enough to help finish off the war canoe. And Blue's eyeing for some palisade walls over here, trying to secure up most of the map. And the fire ship having trouble advancing, being interrupted. And he body blocked it. He needs to destroy that ship there, but did splash down the fire ship, took it out. Got this archer ship now here. What's the unique tech? Archer ships fired 2 additional javelin weapons. Huh. How powerful is that? 2 javelin weapons? Is that the same damage as the transport ship? Because that is actually quite significant. I rate arrow ships really highly, in which that will make it sound incredibly powerful. That is a fishing boat, not a fire ship. He is eyeing for a fishing boat there. He must have a macro playing, or he has a hotkey he's hitting, because right now, that is really bad. He's now losing 2 free fishing boats here. The Malian player is now advancing to the Castle Age, which does also give him access to this bunch of resources. They don't actually get any unique units in this age, do they? And the only thing they get in unit-wise entirely is just siege weapons, siege units. Let's find this villager. Kashik's now advancing on forward. The Mongol player has enough resources to age up. We may see an age up now. And is going for the Kurultai. The longer the game goes on, the more in favor of the Malian player, because the most Mongol players don't even go for level 1 improved research. I would still recommend Mongol players go for level 1 improved research for all of them. Maybe you can skip out on gold if you're going for the silver tree. Does at least give you a little bit more economic benefits, because right now in most matchups Mongols are on the back foot. They don't get any real economics other than through the OVO and the lack of housing, which is nice, but nothing spectacular as, say, the mining pit. Castle Age is now completed for the Mongol. He went for the Kurultai. A good defensive spot would be right here in this choke point. A good aggressive spot will be here in this choke point. In my opinion, the Kurultai is good for as a defensive emplacement or a siege camp. And defense, it does amazing well, getting plus 20% damage on defense, in which you're in generally better position. And plus some health regen. It is very nice for a defensive landmark. For offensive, I find it best for a siege camp, since the plus 20% damage also applies to siege weapons. Perfect for your traction trebuchets, which are cheaper, attack faster, and but they're much weaker overall in DPS against buildings at least. Looks like the Malian ships are a little bit dancing. All of them are currently idle. He can be retasking these fishies over here. Wait, did that villager just go down? Oh, there was a spring guard outpost here. Just must have picked off that villager. The Mongol player could eye for some outposts here to get some better trading. Faster traders at least. And increased speed, which will result in directly better income, since the value of the trade network is based on distance traveled and necessarily how long it takes. Archers to go down there. There's too many Donzo here for those sketches to engage, and all this force will just simply get overwhelmed. Mongol player, he's going to lose the Snifmouse army here. He can retreat back to Kashik and somebody spearing across the initial walls. Spring Gold ship able to apply some fire support. Just a regular scout here. You have some mana arms not being pulled out by the Mongol player. Very nice. Takes out one villager. Follow-up house. We're seeing quite a bit of fire there. The Kashik does go down to the javelin throw, and that mana arms took a nice hit there as well. Remember, the Donzo's javelin throws do affect cavalry. Your bonus damage is cavalry, so they're a decent way to poke against cavalry if the cavalry is not poking against you. Now, I do have the Kurultai here, which apparently does affect ships. I did not know that. So we've got multiple sources of health regen there, but he does lose that Spring Gold ship incredibly fast. I mean, they do have good base damage. I didn't realize they were effective for Spring Gold ships. You've got a couple fire ships here, which can be very good versus land units. It does do 95 explosive, so it should be very effective versus these units. It will one-shot the javelin throwers, and not one-shot the venom donzo. Fire ship bangs support, but he does focus fire them down, preventing them from exploding on them. Prototype needs to stay back. He can't be advancing for these catchers. There's too many Dons on the region. Man-at-arms not making advance. Man-at-arms are a great item at this moment in time. He needs to get these catchers engaged, these veteran Musfati wars, keep this man-at-arms alive. More man-at-arms pushing forward. Does have, of course, increased damage and the health here. But he's starting to get disintegrated. There's too many forces here overall. So I'm breaking through. Now I've got the defense arrow there, giving him +2/+2 armor. I'm sure he has the upgraded arrows, the whistling arrows. Now I've got a couple catches in the back line hitting some of these javelin throwers. Both the Mongol player will manage to hold it. Just using higher quality, smaller fours. Right now he's severely outnumbered. More of the Musfati wars in point of view, which are good versus heavy. But we do have a Mangonel here. The Mangonel, of course, will get additional 20% damage there, as well as even health regen from the Kurultai. I'm pushing forward as well, trying to engage this mining pit. I'm surprised he built a mining pit over here, and not just, say, right here or here. Gotta keep going up there. We do now have the Kurultai deployed on the field. Does he have improved siege engineers? Nope, he does not have siege engineers or improved siege engineers. And the Mongol player does have 101 civilians versus point 61. If you look at the gold per minute, the Mongol economy is great. The Malian player, large number of units are a little bit idle. And when I say idle, I mean not collecting at the moment. Mangonels do technically counter keeps. They do have longer range than keeps, and they do also have bonus damage for structures. I would say keep the Kurultai there, let it draw some fire there, so allow the Mangonels get some nice vision onto the keep to counter barrage it. We now have imported armor being brought in by the Malians. The Mongol player may want to get a dock over here for a better collection point for those fishies. Maybe one over here as well. We have 16 traders here, so he has maxed out trade network, getting 6672. And the javelin thrower gives a good volley there onto those fishing ships. Wait, +8 versus range. Does that apply to spring gold ships? Does that count as range? I know it is technically range, but does that count as range when it comes to bonus damage? Either way, do not got a traction trebuchet with bonus damage, now engaging the keep. He doesn't really have a front line here. He does have some archers, very good. Some man-at-arms, archer man-at-arms with Mangonel support will be very effective. With maybe a third of Mangonel's order, which get to 3, it really does put dents into armies. Mangonels do bonus damage versus range units, as well as building, as well as ships. But still better to use spring golds against ships. Musfati Wars camouflaging the way forward. And they do get revealed there, and now they're going to be hitting some of these traders. Going to these traders inside of the town center now. A couple of them do go down, good harassment there. Fraction trebuchet now pushing way forward. You've got now a spring gold. Remember, these siege units can take a hit, but they can be healed up by overtime by the... Ooh, got a couple good shots there. Take out Mangonel. Good number of those traders have gone down. Blues so far killed up 22 civilians. Mongols only killed 7. Now the archers going to push on forward to engage these Musfati warriors. We do now have these Keshiks now advancing on forward, trying to engage these villagers. A couple of them could go down. If they did break through down here, these Musfati warriors will go down. But now got Blue has mass assault here. He has 2 or just one magnet sprinkles harm against sofas. And arms, of course, not a hard counter to the veteran sofa, but thanks to nearby curl tide has a large damage increase. Does have some, does have an outpost here. He does not have Yam Network research. He may want to go for Yam Network there to get speed bonus for his infantry to engage. And Green is, who's not paying attention, Green is getting some significant damage on these villagers. He doesn't have textiles research either, so he's losing almost every single one of those villagers. Only 2 of them escaped. And now puts him, Green's now killed 25 villagers. Granted, overall, Blue has killed higher quality villagers via those trade caravans. Now, as multiple, these traders will go down to the sofas. At this point in time, with this many sofas in the field, he may want to station a small garrison of spearmen in this region. Essex will go down. Sofas are taking quite a bit of hits there. In the center, we've got these forces moving around. And the sofa's still in the region. I'm not sure. He pulled back a little bit too far, a little bit too long, and now some of these traders will go down. Kesh is now engaging. Various infantry forces advancing forward. Let's take out a couple sofa there, but does take out a number of traders. Now do have the white stupa being put on the field. First, I think the Cognitive Palace is much better, provides higher quality, provides more value over time. The reason why I say that is the white stupa provides you 240 stone per minute. The Cognitive Palace, I think one of the deployments is, for example, is 3 or 4 nights. I forget the exact number. In which it does provide that either 50 or 60 seconds. Can't remember the exact number either. Each individual night is worth 240. And the white stupa provides 240, so you have to get something that's 240 times 3 every 60 seconds, or 240 every 60 seconds. So the Cognitive Palace provides significantly higher value in my opinion, but a lot of people like the mass towers for the Mongols. In which, let's take a look at the Ovo, see what research he has gotten. And of course, now there's a new research that packs Mongolic, giving plus 300 health and 3 fire armor to outposts. For 1,000? Ugh, that is far overpriced. Down throws you get a good volley there. There's no body warriors in there. Trebuchets do get taken out by the Mongol Spring Gulls. Taking out the blue Spring Gulls now. It's 5 versus 3 at the moment. More sofas here. A couple Keshiks now pushing their way forward. Boy has the increased attack speed. Of course, down that outpost, I don't see any outposts that improve his trade network, so I'd say it's a bit oversight. Man-Arms now engage these Gonzos. Notice these Man-Arms will get cleaned on up. More traders starting going down. They charge there, but there's too many sofas for the Keshiks to deal with. And now we do got a good number of crossbows here, getting some big damage there on the sofas. Trying to fall back to those crossbows, takes another one there. How many traders remaining? He's down to 7. That's a good number of them down. He is in next age. He may want to go for stone commerce, get a bit more stone as well. He has maintained good stone income thanks to the white stupa, that's for sure. He's able to get some improved research. He's now going for lightweight beams. You can also go for improved lightweight beams. Making your email 2, if you manage to stream and sneak a couple of man-at-arms there, if like if there was an engagement there, sneak a couple of man-at-arms along the side, you can start eating your opponent from inside out with the man-at-arms. We do now have 4 other hunters now being employed on the field. Looks like the sofa's finally being cleaned on up. Going for more traders, very good. 4 other hunters being placed in the center, which does allow the camouflage effect for all units, and the Musfadi warrior and gunners get a first strike attack. Imam moving around. Blue has claimed 4 relics. Green should really eye to pick up these relics because going for Tithe Warren gives you a little bit extra stone. We do have some Mongol hand cannoneers, very nice. Like all hand cannoneers, they're good, but expensive, but good. Now we do have the elite sofa. The Sofa King is going to come. 4 other hunters now being is here. We do now have a Mongol bombard. Bombard has now put a hole into the keep. The 4 of the hunters doesn't have any additional health. Man-at-arms trying to decapture the sacred site. Blue has captured both sacred sites right now. Man-at-arms are going start going down here. Got the archers advancing on forward. We do now have the grade bounties being flowed on out. More will win more, so if he starts getting his own industry, his buildings, infrastructure, he can get some good amount of money right here. This will make it so it will pay for itself, forcing all that stuff down, but it won't only pay for itself. More sofas being put on the field. Sofas do bonus damage versus siege. Not siege, infantry, not necessarily siege, but it's just good damage. Both sides are at 37 military units, so they're down to minimal. It's definitely a higher quality force for the Mongols, with a sheer number of siege weapons, hand cannoneers, crossbows. And looks like the Malian player does back out the game. This Android saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.